how this started off. Like it was stopping, it was freezing. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't had that problem.
I didn't know what was going on just then. It's all good.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bounceback Wednesdays. I'm your host, Jamila Hanif, and I'm here with our amazing special guest, Jermaine Williams. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. This time difference. It's crazy, right?
Oh no, I appreciate you.
Oh no, all day. You already know I wasn't gonna miss
it. Yeah, I know. I'm excited. Somebody gonna say, "Oh, do you need me?" I don't know who this is. Some of you all, if you haven't gave StreamYard permission, you have to share. I'm sad. I'm sick. Oh, that's my sister. Come on, Fatima. You guys, drop in the chats where you at, your name, chime in as much as you want to. It's all good. So I'm excited about tonight. Shout out to Kijafa.
What's up, buddy?
Man.
That's my home girl.
Yeah, Kijafa she's everything. She's amazing. So, what made you accept the invite to Bounceback Wednesday?
Well, we have a mutual friend, Kijafa, she hooked that up. But, when you and I became friends, I liked everything that you had going on. And plus, you don't turn down someone that has courtside seats to the Warriors game. I seen you was on TV for a split second. So, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on ahead. Nah, but no, I like I thought it was very different. You don't hear a lot of people addressing the ACEs. You hear so much aspects of the mental health, but this is something that's very rare. And even during my certifications, my trainings, it's not something that they really concentrated on. It was like, hey, here's ACEs, this, moving on.
That's interesting. We're gonna go back to that because that's a trip, and it depends on the spaces we're in, definitely. Because I'll get back. Like what got me into ACEs? Like it's crazy. So you learned about ACEs a while ago, right? So
a while ago. It was 3-4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. And this study, for those of you who don't know what ACEs is, you're probably like, what is ACEs? What are they talking about? ACEs, ACES. ACEs is an acronym for Adverse Childhood Experiences. So what are adverse childhood experiences? How did this come about? So between 1995 and 97, Kaiser and the CDC conducted a study on 17,800 of their HMO members. They did this because they were wondering, I think it had to do with obesity and stuff. So they had patients that was obese and wondering what's going on. So they created this long survey and then they minimized it. They, minimized it to 10 questions. And these questions have to do with what happened in your household between the ages 0 and 18. And it's 3 categories. It's abuse, neglect, and dysfunctional household. Within those 3 categories are subcategories. So with abuse, there is physical abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. With neglect, is emotional neglect and physical neglect. With dysfunctional household is mental health, mental health, so depression, witnessing domestic violence, incarceration of a family member, having somebody in the household that is a substance abuse user, alcoholic, and loss of a parent due to death, divorce, abandonment, and separation. So it's like, did you have somebody in the household that yelled at you, humiliated you? That's emotional abuse. So a lot of us grew up in these households and it's like, we think this stuff is normal, but it's very dysfunctional and it's not healthy at all. So you took the ACEs questionnaire.
I did. I took one quite recently. So okay. I did.
What was your score?
It was a 6. It was a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. What anything come up for you, or was it different from when you took it the first time, or
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I took it the first time, I did not put a lot of stock into ACEs. I was not a big believer, or I could say that I thought it was a little misleading. You know, it was a manipulative a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember what I had then. But you know, the main thing that I thought about was my dad's death when I was 6 years old,
Mm.
and that's the main thing that I thought about. Um, yeah, that's the first thing that really hit home. Even getting ready to take the test, I knew that that was going to be a big thing for me.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. At 6 years old, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So listen, y'all. Anybody tuning in? Man, these discussions that happen on Bounceback Wednesdays, they are some deep discussions. Very transparent. I'm not trying to re-traumatize nobody. If you feel uncomfortable, even just tuning in, or if you hear something, you know, sign off, or take a breather, or at times we gotta what they say, you gotta feel it to heal it. If anything resonate with you or whatever you want to share. But every time we have a guest come on, it always helps somebody. Somebody is always help. So it always helps somebody. So I appreciate you even coming on um,
Definitely,
to share things. So
yeah, definitely.
man, tell me about the work that you do, because I remember when I finally got a chance to talk to you, you was in your car having some me time. So
Yeah.
tell me about the work you do.
Well, I do a lot. Um, right now, I'm a certified recovery peer specialist, um, and I'm also like a a crisis specialist as well.
Mm-hmm.
I take suicide calls about 40 hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
and also do some peer counseling for the new 988. Have you heard of 988?
No, tell us about
Okay. So I know it's really big here in Florida, but it's going to be nationally rolled out.
it. Mm-hmm.
What they want to do is kind of take some of the foot traffic away from 911 when it's dealing with mental health, suicide, anything. So that number to call if you're feeling suicidal, you have a mental health crisis, which is huge for people who has family members who are schizophrenic or whatever. You dial 911, police get involved, you know how that could go.
Yeah.
Dialing 988 will give it it's emergency service, but it's a different type of emergency service.
Mm-hmm.
It's it should be with a heart. Yeah, it's with a heart. So,
So,
and if you're feeling suicidal and you're in the state of Florida, it's probably a good 7 times out of 10 chance we might get
really?
Yes. Yes, I've taken a lot of calls.
A lot of.
I've taken a lot of calls. Um, but to continue on, I'm also an executive producer of Rescue Addiction. It is a unscripted television show where me and my team of therapists, I mean, just it's an all-star team. And we go into crisis situation and we stabilize the person that's using substances, put them through treatment, and then we coach the family on the healthy and non-healthy ways to support that person that's facing addiction. And then when you support like that inner circle of that person, you start to find out some of the trauma, maybe the ACEs that comes up,
Mm-hmm.
and then normally it's outside of that person that's using, and we have to treat that person as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that first episode that we shot, yeah, it was a lot going on. So we're in talks with a few networks right now. I just pray that I have a huge announcement by the end of the month or the beginning.
Okay.
So that's going good. I'm an author, activist, just a lot of stuff right now.
Why did you choose mental health? Why did you choose to be a mental health advocate?
Well, I myself was addicted to cocaine for 13 years. This past November the 30th, I celebrated 7 years of sobriety. And I had to think about it because I don't count. I don't count the days. I don't count the years. I try not to because I know I ain't going back.
Right.
But you know, like when 3 years into being sober, um, I think I was still acting like I was on drugs. And people still probably thought they didn't believe that I was sober because even though the symptoms of the mental health or the mental diagnosis, which is addiction,
Mm-hmm.
there, even though I got that under control, the mental, the things that I was fighting upstairs was, it was kicking my ass. So, you know, my girlfriend was about to leave me because I was lashing out. And, you know, I was just like, hey, man, you know, don't leave. I'll go get a evaluation. And, you know, I wasn't taking it serious. I just wanted her to stay. And then, man, I started getting my diagnosis, which was intermittent explosive disorder, which is commonly known as IED, bipolar 2, PTSD. Those were my main three diagnoses. And when I started researching them, and I was like, damn, that's me. And matter of fact, not only is that me, that is everything that I don't like about myself. Those are the outcomes of each one of those symptoms. I mean, each one of those diagnoses. So then I got a therapist. First, I got put on medication. I don't like, you know, black people don't like being a slave to anything, especially medication. So I stayed on medication for about a year and a half, but I got with my therapist. And I came up with like a toolbox to use when I feel my triggers coming. And it was hard at first, but once I proved to my therapist, I was ready to get off the medication. I got off and been back on ever since. So, you know, I just remember when I went to rehab, when I started going to therapy, when I started going to see psychiatrists, you know, black people didn't understand. So I wanted to normalize it. And then the moment I did that, a lot of people came out and, you know, wanted to follow in those footsteps to get help because they seen how good I was doing. After I got my mental health under control, everybody believed I was sober. They thought they was hoping I was. I mean, you know, I had nothing to prove. But 3 years in, I still was acting like I was on drugs. But once I got that mental health under control, I took off and I ain't looked back since.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's good. Because it's like, just like you said, the people around you, basically, it's like you inspired them. Like, then especially if you see it. Now, I don't know how many black men I've had on Bounceback Wednesdays. Like, man, like, see a black man, you know, going to get therapy or counseling and all that stuff. That's huge. Like, man, I support that. Like,
it is. I'm breaking that because I tell them, you know, people all the time, and I think with our culture, we're at an all-time high of, you know, having or breaking that stigma. That stigma is, you know, you can see again, you know, peeled back like an onion, but now it's starting to get chopped. Where I work at, you know, it was down here in Florida, like you know, it's just everybody got dreads and gold. These young kids, you know, so they walk in. I'm the only black person that work in this spot, and he walked in, he smelling like weed. He came in, I took him in the back, and he just bust out crying. He said, "Man, you know, I've seen too much death. I afflicted too much, you know." And he just was like, "I just hear about mental health, and I just came here to see could this help me get out the rut that I was in." And I tell you, I talked to him. That was right before Thanksgiving. He's had 3 sessions now of counseling, and I'm telling you, this guy can't be no more than 25. And he was like, "Man, this my few sessions has made me a better black man, better father, a better boyfriend." He really made my day. He really made my day a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I think the stigma is chopped down, and I have to explain so many times to where like there's more studies than not that shows that trauma is passed down, you know, from our forefathers, and you know what our forefathers went through. And you know, you put in slavery and Jim Crow, school the pipeline and redlining, and
Uh-huh.
we're walking around with all that in our DNA on top of our personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get that under control.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
That's crazy. It's in our
yeah,
blood. That's
it
crazy.
is. So
Yeah. Whew. So look, when you do your counseling sessions and everything, you keep your goals in your mouth. That's
look,
cool. I love it. Like,
oh no, that's what I do. But like I say, where I work at, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County, from Pensacola.
okay.
I work in Neptune Beach, and it's it's what it sounds like. And you know, have you heard of our governor here, Governor DeSantis? You
No.
you you
I know.
you need to, because he's the biggest threat to black people right now, and he might be your next president. Um, he they're favoring him over Trump. So we're trying to do all we can. He just won the governorship again in Florida, or he remained the incumbent and beat out his challenger. And he is the biggest pusher of getting critical race theory out. He was recently on the Shade Room when his debate. He was talking about that critical race theory makes white kids feel a certain way that they shouldn't feel, and America was not built on stolen land. Oh yeah, you need to look into him. Like, he's
Oh.
Trump is not going to win because of DeSantis, regardless of the fact.
Mhm.
My job does certain things. Don't let me do certain things because any time in the next 7 months he'll be in office. I got you. You know. But here's the thing, man. You know how we got to do. We can't be ourselves a lot the way I want to, because we got to make other people feel comfortable. Now, when I do my independent work, you're gonna get what you get.
God knows. But I can't wait for that birthday gift, that news, that announcement. That's gonna be
yeah. But because I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard. Because I've been doing the work. I'm just now getting paid for it, but I've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was even counseling someone, an older white lady. Always throw out race. It don't matter, but when you're in the South, that's what you do. I'm sorry. But she was so nice, so sweet, and she always would call me because she wanted to die, and I would always talk her out of it, and we would just begin to talk about certain things. So I've been doing this work for quite a bit, but at that time, I did not have the training like I do now. I didn't have the experience. So this one day, she called, working for Amazon, and modern day slavery. So I was tired. And so I switched my approach with her this time, and I said, this time I'm gonna let her talk. And by the time we got off the phone, we made plans. She was well off. She had this big land, a pond on the back of her house, and she invited me and my son to come out there that weekend. And I never heard from her because she got off the phone with me and killed herself.
Damn it!
Yeah. And the way I found out is her husband called me, and I didn't know him or nothing. And he asked me, did I know her? I was like, hey, man, it's not what you think. I started trying to explain, the situation, and he was like, no, 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 no. I just want to let you know you was the last person to talk to her alive. What did she say? What happened? And I just was in a daze. So, I've had my experiences. That makes me the strong peer, the strong crisis interventionist that I am, the strong whatever, because I've had some heartaches. I mean, from the stuff that I've done while I was on drugs, to my childhood, to having someone who just, get off the phone with you and, end it all. And then my son went through some stuff that was that made news here, and it was very sad mental health wise. That he's seen some things at the age of 10 that no adult should see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been tough, and that's why I go so hard. When
Mm-hmm.
I go hard. I don't sleep. I don't, you know, do what I got to do because we on the clock.
Man, you're gonna make me cry. I'm all, whew, I
Yeah,
hold
it's
my tears in because we gotta, we gotta. When it's people like you that's doing what you're doing, and a black man, we gotta pray for you. We gotta keep you covered. You take it in so much, but I know you know what self care is. I know you know just what you sitting. When I'm telling you, when I called you, and I was like, "Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're doing the right thing." Hearing the work you was doing. Man, it's just man, we gotta pray for people, especially people that's taking so much in, having to do with mental health and saving lives and stuff. I'm
and
just
what's so funny. That's the one thing I get in trouble with in my job the most, and
really,
with my mentor, I don't have a self care, so I don't.
ooh,
And we talk about it every Thursday meetings. They make it just as important as the work we do when we have to report. And so I work really close with DCF, with Department of Children and Family
mm-hmm,
Services, the managing entity of this part of Florida.
mm-hmm,
And they call me every once in a while, just like, hey,
mm-hmm,
what's your self care?
mm-hmm.
I don't have it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think when every time I help somebody is a self care for me, and I don't think and they don't accept that though. They don't accept that as an answer. They want to hear yoga and
Huh.
stuff like that. I got so many people that
Mm-hmm,
have died my age and my family, especially the last 2 years.
mm-hmm,
I don't have no time for self care. I
mm-hmm.
don't know when it's going to be my time, and I got to do too much work I can do before I get up out of here. So, to me, self care is for those that are built. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I don't want to put that out there like that. But
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying is just that I feel like maybe I'm just built a little different. I have yet to cry about my dad's death. I have not cried about it yet. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother, who I love to life, I've been gearing up for her death since I was 14. She just passed this couple, at the April of this year. I didn't cry. And it's definitely not boasting. There's something wrong there, but we just ain't got time to figure it out. I gotta keep on trucking, and we on the clock. And because to be honest, you know, as much spotlight that mental health gets right now, it's gonna forever take a backseat to physical. So until we start to cut into that lead and get mental health just as taking the serious as physical health,
Right.
there's no time to do anything.
Listen, you right. People don't understand it's an injury. It's still injury. Mental, physical. Man, mental is worse.
Yeah, I mean the brain tell the body what to do, so I just don't
Right.
understand. I don't understand, and I was going through my certifications, and I found out that right just in the 70s, early 80s is when a law was passed where a little bit will be covered by insurance, just a little bit. So it's even,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, it's just really hard. It's really hard. And then exactly to you have days like today when we talked about it earlier off our, Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
dying by suicide, and it's been everywhere. That's how everybody was talking about today: mental health, suicide, and you know, um, but it's every day for me, because I get these calls.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want someone would that's prominent or has a following to have to do this every so often to get people to think about it and talk about
Mm-hmm.
it. Some of the calls, I mean, that we get, oh, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard, and when you go clock in at a job, and some days you like, man, I want to go home. I ain't feeling this today. Yeah, you can't do that though, because it's life or death. So.
Mm. I had Kevin Berthiez.
Mhm.
So Kevin Berthia, he's a suicide prevention advocate. And Kevin, I want to say he attempted suicide like 17 times. Like he tried to commit suicide. And his last time was it was March. I want to say like March 11th. Oh, man. I want to say it was 2015 or something. I'm probably wrong, but Kevin was on the Golden Gate Bridge here in California, and he was about to jump, but it was an officer, a CHP. His name was Kevin Briggs, and Kevin Briggs. Why are you shaking your head?
Because I heard the story. I just didn't know. Yeah.
So that's Kevin. That's like a brother to me. Like
that was 2015.
I don't know. I'm about to look it up because I know I got the day wrong. I remember it was like March 11th though.
I think that was that was the year the closest I came to dying by suicide.
Really?
Yeah, that's when I got clean.
2005. It was 2005. Yeah.
Oh, this was 2005. Yeah, something about that 5 number.
Yep, March 2005. Okay, I got it right. Kim, you probably listening. Okay, I got it right because it's important. He's important to me. Like,
wow.
I check in with him. We check in with each other. He's been on.
That's good. Tell him.
Huh?
Tell him I love him, man. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's wow. I've seen that story so many times. You know how Facebook do. You go about 3 years and the story just catch fire again, even though it's old, and they'll repeat it and repeat it. I see that story so much. Yeah, I see the pictures of it. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So he's doing some things. So and he was diagnosed with what did he say he was diagnosed with? Was this bipolar? That's bad. PTSD. No, it was PTSD. And he was like, he didn't know what this was. No, it wasn't. It was depression. Yeah. So he was diagnosed, and he was like, he never heard of it. Like, I ain't never seen this on the news or anything like that. But yeah, but what I'm saying, what I was trying to say was that Kevin Briggs, talked to him for like 92 minutes or something like that. Listened to him. That's what he did. He just listened to him, and it stopped him. From committing suicide. So. Yeah, y'all, the importance of listening, the importance of having someone to talk to. So I teach a class on Tuesdays to parents who have children that are in the child welfare system. And these mothers have been drug addicts, prostitution, alcoholics, all of this. And so just this last conversation, I was talking to them about their homework was to come up with 5 ways to cope in a healthy ways. And so when they came on and they shared, the one thing everybody had in common was like connecting to somebody. Like, oh, I could call this person, or, it's so important to have somebody to call to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I encourage a lot of people to, have you heard of mental health first aid?
Say it again?
Mental health first aid?
Yeah, I'm supposed to get trained in that.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. I got my facilitators to teach the class, but I probably would never do it. But
why? Why would you never do it?
I just take a lot of time.
It take a lot of time.
Yeah, I ain't got a lot of right now. It's like a week, of course. Yeah. But when people do reach out and you start to assess, like with mental health first aid, to me, it's somewhat common sense, but just sharpening your common sense of pointing out when people are having those mental health crises or suicidal thoughts or tendencies, even catching it before people actually catch it themselves, that know that they're going through it. And, that's one of the main things of mental health first aid is connection with people. Having that connection with people is key.
Yes, it is. And that's one of the trauma informed. So trauma informed practices. The first thing is like, it's connections, but it's like building trust. So I wonder if, when getting a call, right? Somebody trusting to talk to you, to share with you. Like, I wonder, do people just open up just right away what they're going through?
It's always different.
Mm-hmm.
It's always different. You have your difficult calls where they don't. And then normally what I do there, I know, I mean, first off that I know you're calling me. So I know that you're you're probably have a plan for suicide and you're about to take action, or we only got 5 minutes and we gotta turn this thing around fast. And most people don't, if they don't open up, the first thing I'm gonna do is start talking about myself and how I battle suicide ideation, what I went through, and I do it rapid fast to get them comfortable, to get them start talking, to let them know they're not just talking to someone I know who was put through training and then, with no experience and, you know. So, yeah, no, to get those difficult calls. And one thing I don't, a big question I always get is, well, what's some of the main reasons why people want to do it? It's never important. When you're dealing with an untreated or undiagnosed or even diagnosed or treated mental diagnosis, suicide is always going to be there. When you have bipolar 1, bipolar 2, suicide will be there, PTSD, IED, suicide will be there. There's just these common factors, and it's an imbalance, and especially if it's untreated, no therapy, no peer services, no medication, no nothing, psychiatric, and let's not even get on schizophrenia. Suicide, murder, suicide are they're right there. They're right there, and they can erupt at any time. So that's why I did a live earlier. I see someone was asking about Twitch, and just because of the whole Twitch thing, I rarely go live. But I went live today. I just want to ask all of my Facebook friends and followers, hey, mental health check-in with me, how you doing? Because you have someone who's influential. I watch Ellen. I just thought he was a DJ. I didn't know he was on So You Think You Could Dance. I guess that's the name of the show.
I don't know.
But man, every other post someone was talking about either on the reality show he was on or hosted, taking over hosting for Ellen, DJing for Ellen, or the dances that him and his wife do. I don't know much about him in these last 12 hours than I've ever known about him. I just thought he was just a DJ. Anyhow, when you have, and to me, in my opinion, you get the right person, that's the problem. Watching someone that you have with admiration, that you like watching him and his wife dance, their family, unit, and you follow him a lot, and then you pull out your phone looking at Facebook and he died by suicide. That's trauma, man. And then if they're thinking, if someone just even had the thought of suicide, it's a promotion. It's marketing suicide, in certain ways. So, I just wanted to go in and check on people today, and remind them that, like we said earlier, you're getting a therapist, you're getting any kind of services right now. You ain't got no insurance, you're scraping at the bottom of the barrel. Like, state dollars that's allocated for it. There's some fundings out there, but man, it's not common. So when people think, I want to get therapy, but I can't afford it, and they just hang it up and stop looking around and stop poking for it, I think that's a dangerous thing. And I think it's, people like you and I and the things that you're doing every second and fourth Wednesday, it's saving lives. Just to create this conversation, create the space, because it's only when tragedy strikes when you hear about mental health. It's never when it's, on the offense. It's always on the defense.
That was true, though. Everything you said was true. And some people don't see it. Some people don't see it as trauma. Some people really have no idea that they are being traumatized. And It's stuff I don't want to see. Oh, but I can tell you, I didn't know who the guy was, y'all. I had no idea who Twitch was. Who was Twitch? Who was Twitch? I learned more from you than on social media because I just I haven't been like scrolling through or whatever. I try to post, try to drop, and just get off.
No.
But I saw this one recent video of him dancing, and they were like, this was 24 hours before he committed suicide. I was like, damn, and it's like, we never know, it's important to check in on people. Like, it's so important because he was dancing happy. Yeah, people could be putting it on, fronting or whatever, but really, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. It's, let me make sure I say this right. Because even though, I'm from Florida, I'm talking about South. Like, I'm from Pensacola, Florida, where at times it feels like the 60s there,
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was coming up, people always said, friends, people around me, oh, suicide, oh, you gonna kill yourself? That's white people shit. But it has no gender, no class, no. You look at Kate Spade, you look at Robin Williams, you look at Anthony Bourdain, you look at these are some people that had it all. Money wasn't a thing. I'm sure if they wanted company, they could have had company. It just, man, I think that when most people, because a lot of people like, man, if I had money, when I make it, when I get this, or when this works out for me, everything gonna be good. And I used to be one of them people. I mean, like the phrase "money can't buy happiness" is one of those things that broke people be like, shit, But and I'm like that too. I'm broke. Don't get it twisted. Like, I mean, I'm not broke, compared to some people. But no, it's just like when you're looking for things or people to make you happy, it'll never work. And you're gonna find yourself in a climate that can create suicide. And the only thing that can get that right is by tackling the problem that is mental health. I'm a little different. I believe in God. I'm a follower of Jesus. I don't really say I'm a Christian because, Southerners, Republicans have taken that to a whole nother level that I don't identify with. But the day I got clean, I'm a huge college football fan. It's huge down here in the South. Florida, I'm Florida State. We can beat Florida, our biggest rivals. I figured I was going to celebrate it. And at this time, I was telling myself a lot like, yeah, I'm going to go get a 6-pack of beer. And that's it. I'm not doing no coke. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to let it get that far. That was Saturday night. Sunday morning, after doing an 8-ball, 3 bottles of vodka. Now I'm distraught. I'm like, okay, this thing has controlled me and I have no control over it. The only thing I do have control over is whether I live or die, because I can't fight this thing and I wanted to die. I made a plan. And when I started to make that plan, my grandmother, my aunt, all these people was here visiting in Jacksonville from Pensacola. And they were about to leave to go to church. And I was like, there's no way that they could come home from church and putting their faith in God and coming home and finding me dead. I just wouldn't allow that to happen. So I just went downstairs and I was like, they could look at my face. They knew what it was. This was the 13th year of my addiction. And I've done far, far worse. My documentary explores a lot more than that, and so I grabbed everybody's hand and we started praying. And, I prayed and I told God how I want to get off the drugs and stuff. So I was invited to go to church that Friday earlier. Someone invited me to go to church and I took them up on that offer because, it was either going to church or still, possibility of dying by suicide. So I went to church and I was doing praise and worship, and the congregation was standing up. They were singing. I was sitting in my chair and I was soaking with my head down. I could barely breathe because my nose full of coke, still drunk. And I heard this voice. It was faint, it was strong, and it was mighty. And it said, if you want to be done with this forever, you have to praise me like you never did before.
Mm.
Now, I'm one of those people at that time. I cared what people thought of me. I cared about how I looked. Even in church, I love God to an extent because I wasn't going to make myself look like no fool raising my hands or whatever. Want to be done with something?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that, you don't give a fuck. But anyway, I jumped to my feet and I praised 3 consecutive songs. I'm talking moaning, crying, everything. That has been 13 years ago. I haven't touched anything since then.
I'm proud of you.
And that day, so when people ask me my path to sobriety, even when I'm counseling them, it's hard for me. It's not hard for me to share because it was nothing but God, and it was a huge miracle. But it's hard for me to get things to relate because as much as I'm a man of faith, when you're taking on other people and their problems and talking them through it, you cannot bring in anything of yourself in there. I was counseling this one lady, and I lied to you not. My brother called me Malcolm V because that's how much I admire Malcolm X. He's like a father to the grave, from the grave. But I was counseling this 60-year-old white lady, and she told me, this is what she said. She was like, I have a daughter. She lives. Well, I can't go into too much detail, but she was telling me my daughter likes black men. And why can't she go find Barack Obama or Ben Diesel? She has to go find a 50 Cent. I'm so
I'm sorry.
No, I'm real, and I'm telling you this, and I'm just looking at her. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And when you're sitting in front of people, you're not black, you're not white, you're not man. You're just there to help them through that crisis. So, and I'm just sharing all that to say, like that is by law. That is like an oath. So, when you go into those, going to try to seek help or get treatment, like the trust is totally there, and it's all by law. I'm sorry, it sounds like you want to.
No, you're good because I want to connect. I got to connect y'all. Y'all got to get connected. So I needed to get Kevin on. So, Kevin.
What's up, my sister? What's up, brother? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good listening to you, man. Inspired by your testimony, man. That's powerful, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Kev was back there. I see you, Kev. You back there.
Oh, yeah. Because when it's real, man. You gotta recognize it ain't you. And when we can recognize it ain't us, that's what make our testimony what it is, man. It ain't us. It ain't.
He was telling you of the story earlier.
Yeah,
I believe so. This is why you was talking. What you was talking about,
me? Man, what you talking about, man? I'm proud of you. What? Nah, man. Like, listen. I'm gonna tell you how much of a really big honor it is just to sit here and talk to you because I remember reading your story. I was having suicidal thoughts, and
yes, sir.
And that's the thing, like when forget where I'm at now or anything. When I was there and I remember reading that, I would have never thought in my wildest dream I'd be sitting here talking about being sober and helping people taking suicidal calls by trade and not by trade. And all at that point, I just want to stay alive for another hour.
Yes, sir.
I'm reading the story and I see the pictures. I see how they grabbing you. And what didn't other people come to assist the officer as well?
Yeah.
I saw that picture and bro, I never thought in a million years I would be sitting here 7 years sober as a peer counselor, as a crisis interventionist, as whatever title you get, and then I'm talking to you.
Hey, this how God works, man. He got a plan for it all. We just got to sit back and just live in it, though, man. I appreciate everything you're doing, man, because because you're doing it from a vulnerable but real way, and that's how we go. That's how we gonna reach this generation. This generation ain't going for no counterfeit, man. We got to be real. We got to be blunt. We got to be straightforward, and that's what they lacking in the system. They trying to hit them with them 20-year-old ways, and we got to be real with them. And you got a real testimony, and they need to hear that. Like, don't change. No, don't change the tone in it, man. Don't change, because they try to tell me when I got into this, don't say this and don't say that. And I changed. I said, nah, man, I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. And it's taking me, 46 different states, 3 different countries. So don't change those, man. Keep it going, man. Just keep being real like that. Say it exactly how it is, and be as blunt and as real and as vulnerable it is, man. Because I was inspired, in a real way, because it's like, that's what make it real. Those are those real moments that make it real. So yeah, I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate it. I really do, and you're absolutely right, because at first when I came on the scene and started talking, when I talk to youth or whoever it is, like you look into their eyes and you're trying to hold back and relate to them, and you don't want to cuss, you don't want to, and they ain't paying you no attention. The moment you start talking like the music, that they speak the kind of language that they understand, then you see the connection, you feel the connection, you start getting questions and all those things. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. The counterfeit, it will not work. This is a bold generation, and it's going to take bold leaders, and it's going to take even bolder, like outside the box thinking to tackle this problem, because we got here a certain way, and the same way we got here is not going to get us out of it.
Yeah, and see, you got it. You got it, and that's why I appreciate, like I say, sis, I appreciate the connection. You got to connect me to the right people, and we gonna have to do something, man. Figure out how to collaborate. I'm everywhere, so it ain't like you can be anywhere. I know you say you on the East Coast. Where are you at? Where are you at exactly? Florida.
Florida.
Okay, yeah. I did a couple of the events out there. I was in Broward County. I got a lot of connections in Broward County.
Okay, that's what's up.
Where are you at in Florida?
I'm from Pensacola, but I live in Jacksonville now.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Broward ain't that far down.
Okay, yeah, we need to figure something out, man. You definitely need to figure something out, connect and figure something out.
Yeah, we definitely, because I came out with my documentary 2 years ago, and it was called I Had to Change, and that story that I told, and even living, because I started off as a rapper, and then when I moved from rapping, then I wrote a book, and then I started to become this activist that was like had a bullseye on my back, and I was doing all of that on drugs. And when I got clean, a lot of different things happened. Started getting into gospel rap, and then I started seeing gospel music for what it was, and I backed away from that. And then that documentary won like 4 awards around the world. And then that's when all the television people started to approach me. And then that's what came up with the show Rescue Addiction. So we'll definitely connect on that. I'd love to have you on
there. Yeah. No doubt. Jamila, what's y'all topic tonight? You just got me in here. I don't even know what y'all talking about.
We just, he does the crisis intervention, and shoot, I thought about you. I brought you up when we were just talking about suicide and answering the calls and stuff. I was like, Kevin birthday, and then it's like, hey. So I was like,
well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Anytime we can connect, I appreciate it, definitely. Anytime we talk about anything got to do with mental health, I'm always down to talk about it, because we don't talk about it enough, man. We especially, now more than ever, it's about to be, the floodgates for mental health, Black mental health in particular. Not just, because that's a whole nother mental health, like, and Black men mental health. We're at the forefront right now, brother. Now more than ever, and we have to do something now. We have to come up with something now, and it's no longer about trying to put it together right now. We dying. We're dying now. We're not attempting no more. We're dying, and now is the time to really just put things in motion. Because we got to change the dynamics of how we look at each other. it should be more of us talking to each other. Each and every day. We're hurting. So we should be acknowledging each other more as brothers. Like we got to get better. Like just from that standpoint, just speaking to one another, and getting the relationship back between each other. It's this gap that separates us, and I can't understand it. We are the same. We come from the same struggle. If we go into the store separately, we gonna get looked at and identified the same. It's like they're not gonna look at you no differently. They look at me. So we are in this together. We go anywhere in the world. We both is the same. Like so. We just it just got to get to a point where we bind together as men, as black men, and understand that we are the world is watching us and what we do, and if we can unite, the world will unite.
Absolutely. And one thing I can say about the black women, and kudos, man, they are really spearheading this mental health by action. There's very few men that's like you. They don't have to be like you and I and take the bull by the horns and be the face and but they are in therapy. They are doing the things that they need to do. But it shouldn't be shocking because black men don't go to see about their physical health. So mental health is going to be. But I was reading that. I read an article this morning, and everything about Twitch, was sad. It was sad. I'm not comparing, but what broke my heart even more was the young lady from Milwaukee 3 days ago. And called the police. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She called the police and threatened suicide.
Yeah.
And the police came, and they didn't find her there, so they just left it alone.
Yep.
They found her and her daughter in the car at the bottom of the lake a couple of days later.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a symptom of mental.
Yep.
Direct effect. And when you see stories like that, and that you have taken the training, whether it's lived experience, whatever it may be, that you're capable of putting a dent in the problem in your community.
Yep.
I feel guilty for sleeping for over 4 hours.
That's it, brother. See that? Listen. And that's all it is. I mean, I can't save them all, but I can save some. I can save who I can, and I don't know how people walk around each and every day when they can impact a world, a dark world, when we are the light. Like we all got light in this. I can't see how you keep that to yourself. I just for the life of me, I can't I don't get it. I don't get it, and I never will, and I won't ever understand it. And so I won't ever not be putting back into this world. And I'm not doing it for us to see change. We may not never see it. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
We can't be selfish. We not doing. We got like my kids might get to see it.
Right.
I'm not gonna see it, brother. I'm working for something I'm not gonna see. That's what we got. Come on, man. I ain't gonna start, man. I ain't gonna start.
I love it because it's very reminiscent of King to the Mountaintop, or his mountaintop speech. Let him know I may not get there with you, or even you go all the way back to Moses. I'm going to see the promised land. And you know what? That's like you said. That's okay because we got offsprings, and then we got our brothers and sisters, whether it's by blood or not, that's going to benefit from this.
Absolutely.
I'm one step away now to going to lobby in Tallahassee, our state capital. I'm starting to give up. Like, hey man, we need more black mental health dollars.
Yeah.
Because we are the community that most likely won't have the money or the insurance to go in. We're going to have not second class, not third class, but fourth class mental health care. And that is not good enough with what we've been through over the last 400 years that's been passed down to us. So,
yeah. We're working backwards. So a lot has to change it, but it gotta. A lot of it is them, and a lot of it is us. Like we are the generation that says, no, we ain't. I know what the world is. I know that we ain't got it all. I know what we up against, but I still believe in change. Like we still gotta believe it for the next generation, and that's where it starts. And it starts with conversations like this. It starts with somebody on here that is somewhere feeling like they want to make a change but don't know how.
No, you're absolutely right. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just agreeing.
Go ahead.
I was just amen. And because it's so funny. It's just that us three, we're having a great conversation, and then I'm looking at the comments on my phone over here, and I'm like, oh man, I want to. Isaiah has been spitting out some real shit this whole hour, like and everybody has, and I want to get back to what they're saying, and then we'll say something and. This platform is the beginning. It saved lives, man. And it might not save a life tomorrow, but it definitely will plant the seed. And I'm just a firm believer in that because you're not going to get this. You're not going to get this on the mainstream television. You're not going to get this.
Bodyguard. I need a bodyguard.
But no, absolutely, man. And Kevin, brother, I can't applaud you enough, man, because wow, you deserve everything you're getting right now, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I just feel like it's just time to be real about where we at in life, and I can't lie no more, and sit around and watch us die and watch us suffer in silence. Somebody got to be the voice and say, "Nah, man, I'm struggling today, man."
Yeah.
Like it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard being a man. It's equally hard being a black man.
Yeah.
Like it's the one that, no matter where we go in the world, it is what it is. And I think that we got to start identifying this and understanding that this is the plight we've been given, but we got to understand that enough to be real about who we are. It's just like, no, we struggle every day.
Absolutely.
Truth be told, we struggle every day.
Yeah.
Listen,
No, absolutely.
We yeah, I'm excited. Tonight is just this the last show for the year, just for the year. Because I'm taking me a break. I'm taking a break.
You need one. But one thing I do want to say before, because I know a wind down when I hear it. So let me say this. I'm just playing with you, but listen. One thing I do want to just please urge people to do, because I know it's going to happen sooner than not. These police shootings that's going and being recorded and available for us to see, y'all stop watching that shit, man.
Yeah,
because
come on, man.
You gotta stop watching that. That is some kind of trauma that you are putting into you, and it is,
come on,
man. Especially if you're not taking the steps for positive mental health.
Right.
Come on, man.
You gotta stop watching that. I can't tell you because it happens almost every other month now, every other week, and it's on Facebook. I can't tell you when the last time I watched. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. So, and then now they have these murders on Facebook where people getting shot on live. We're not. Our brains are not wired to watch that kind of stuff.
Come on, man.
Don't get caught up in the social media shit. If Facebook got a covering on it for a reason, don't press uncover because it's not. Especially if you're not getting the help that you need to be getting right now for up here. Stay away from that shit, man. That's just number 1, 2, and 3. I just want to make sure I said that.
Man, that's so much game.
I'm having a book release in May for child abuse and child abuse awareness month. So we're gonna have to do something, y'all. Jermaine, we're gonna have to fly you out here.
Let's do it.
We're gonna have to do something because it's important. We're about to do something, y'all. We're about to do something.
Put it together. I'm around. You already know. Sign my name. You ain't gotta ask me. Sign my name. I'm in it.
Let's do it, man. Because because I haven't held a mental health town hall meeting in a while, and I always do it back home in Pensacola because we're like one of the poorest counties in Florida. Mm-hmm. I mean, the county got money, it just don't trickle down. Call it the redneck Riviera. It's so nice over there. But just black people have it out, and it's like the 60s. Anyhow, I like to bring in therapists and just have free workshop for about 5 or 6 hours. So I definitely got to get y'all over here for that. I'll
come. I need to go somewhere.
Let me know. I'll pull up.
I got You know I got
I'll
you.
pull up.
Well, I'm glad that my power circle has grew by 2 tonight.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate both of you guys. I admire both of you guys. I look up to both of you guys, and I'm feeding up both of y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Man, your story is amazing. I can't wait to see what God got in store for both of y'all though. Like
All 3 of us.
woo, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you.
it's about to be amazing. Like 2023 is about to be wow. It's about to be wow.
You can feel it. You can definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. Like I get a hard time focusing and sleeping and not hungry because you can just feel how powerful 2023 is. It's like it's busting through the couple of weeks that's left of this year. I can feel it, man. And this is definitely our year. And I feel like, and I think I could speak just the way you can hear both of you guys talking. You know, like it's not one of those things to where like we're just gonna magically have a good year. Fuck, we worked hard to get to this good
Yeah.
year.
Come on, man.
In a position to have a great year, and this is gonna be that year.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo. All right, now this is the winding down. So, y'all got anything else y'all want to share? Because I just want to thank everybody tuning in, man. I don't even think I was thanking people for tuning in. I normally do, y'all. I'm so rusty, y'all. So I apologize.
You did.
Everybody that's commenting. Isaiah, what's up, bruh? Miss Christopher, my sister Fatima ain't feeling good. Tequila, Beauty Influence, y'all check her out in Vallejo over there in the Crest area. Everybody tuning in from Florida,
Yeah, thank everybody for tuning in. I'm sorry, I usually do a little better looking at the comments and answering, but we were just rapid fire tonight. I'm a little rusty too because it's every time I've given an interview in the last 3 or 4, it's been very commercial. So I can't be, when you're around your people and you can just talk how you want to talk. That's why I'm talking so fast right now because it's just like, I'm on a topic the way I can talk and I don't have to worry about how the next person may take my words because of the
Yeah, brother, I know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Woo, all right. y'all got any last thing y'all want to share? You want to send a message? So send a message to people that's tuning in. Go on, Jermaine.
My name Jermaine J. Williams on Facebook. Anywhere, if you're having a hard time finding any kind of resources in your area and I could be assistance, DM me. We own it together.
All right. Kev?
I love y'all. I can't say too much. It's been an emotional day. So I ain't gonna say too much. It's just been emotional. So just from my heart, I do love y'all. Like, and I'm here. I tell people all the time, you just inbox me. I pull up on you. I drive to you. I don't care where you are in the world. I will find you because your life is that important to me. And I mean that. Like, I'm not a therapist, not a clinician, but I will listen and I will care and I will do everything in my power to get you back on track. So I love y'all, man. Like, I love y'all. From my heart, I do love y'all. That's all I got to say.
I just want to say something real fast, just piggyback real fast. Because when we talk about what we do, it's like how we, Jermaine, you was talking about how your self-care is, like helping somebody or something, right? It just seems like it's just, we doing what we love to do, what we're called to do. It's our purpose. And it's just like, we don't even trip. It's like, all right, I'm good. I'm cool. What is self-care?
And I think the people that have a problem with that are a little envious because, like they can't do what we're doing. When you build different, it's almost like Michael Jordan with a basketball in his hand. You could just tell that he was born and made for this. And when you can take 40, like 8 hours straight of suicide calls and facilitating support group, leave there, work on rescue addiction, which is more mental health, and then you get 2 or 3 more calls about crises in Pensacola, and you help plug connections with family. take a 2 or 3 hour nap and get up and do it again, and it don't affect you at all, that brings about jealousy because of the people that do this and went to school for this and think that they should, be better off than you in your work in that arena because they've been to school for 12 years. How the hell this ain't affecting you? Why you ain't got no breakdown? How you able to keep your house in order? Why
Yeah.
they put on your face, where your bags under your eyes? You know what I mean? So,
No, real though. This is it. No, for real. That's a trick.
That into your eyes.
They be mad. I've been doing this for a long time. I bet you just now doing it. What they gotta do anything? I'm doing it.
Hey, when you born to do something, man, it come, man. I'm telling you, I get it. Like I tell you, I deal with people all around the world, man. You told me different time zones. It don't matter, man. I'm available 24 hours a day because that's what God's hour. So, I mean, I get it. It just you don't know. You find it ain't you doing it, so that's where you found the strength at. I mean,
there you go, man. Absolutely, man. Because I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I've lived so many different lifestyles in one lifetime, and even my days as a rapper, and Pensacola got some amazing rappers, and I was pretty good. But I can hear some of them dudes, and I'm like, they made for this shit. I'm good, but I'm made, and I couldn't understand. That's how I know that feeling, because you're looking like, damn, I'm good, but why I'm not that damn good? Why are they that much better?
This nigga real. I like it. He real.
But when I get in this space, and now I'm the one everybody looking at, I'm like, I see why.
Come on.
And then one thing they don't know, the people that looking at you is, boy, does it come with a heavy crown. And it come with a heavy.
Come on, man. Talk about it. Come on, man. That's the part that we don't preach about, man.
I heard a song the other day by one of my favorite rappers, Mac. Just dropped some new shit. He say everybody want to have a king's plate, but everybody don't want to carry a king's weight, and that is the year. His name Mac Phipps. I know y'all probably heard of Mac. He was with No Limit.
Yeah,
and he went to jail for a murder he didn't commit, and it derailed his commitment.
That's old school, No Limit. That's old school.
Yeah, he just jumped out, and he didn't even do the crime. And Huffington Post and all these people started picking up the story, and they got him free. And he just dropped his first album in 20 years, 15 years, or something like that. And it's so funny because I used to write him in jail. And I was like, bro, I looked up to you so much. I patterned my rap styles after you did that. I sent him my autograph from my book. I sent him the book. And, he'd been A1 when he got out, man. And everybody was nipping at him, from Nas to you name it. Everybody wanted a piece of him, and he still kept it real with me. And I appreciate that. But no, even to bring it back, though. But, yeah, I just really feel like, those kind of people for years, society told us, you want to be a drug counselor, you want to counsel the youth, you got to go to Florida State, you got to go to USC, you got to go to Cal, Berkeley, wherever, and you have to put in 12 hours and learn this and learn that. And now in 2022, we can say, fuck you. I done been through it. I got lived experience. Right. I got shit that you can't teach me at your university.
Yeah.
So, and look, to me, lived experience is king. Because why would I go in there and talk about my addiction to someone that went to school for it but never touched any drugs?
Come on, man. You better just get us off the air right now. It's about to get too real up in here in a minute. Jesus.
I'm about to cry. I don't know what's going on with me.
That's all I be saying. Like, they be thinking. I tell people all the time, the book wasn't written by a person in a dark place.
Right.
We gonna?
Right.
Lord have mercy. How we helping? How we are installing questions to help connect with loved ones that are in a mentally unstable place with questions that ain't gonna connect with them. Like, we have to change the whole dynamics of how we treat everything. Like, it's all wrong and it doesn't connect with people. It's like, are you thinking about killing yourself? Duh. Like, I mean, that I just don't understand the dynamics of where we at in society, how we think that that's an okay question to ask somebody. Like, I'm here, right? Damn, you would think like you would think if we come up with something that, do you have things to look forward to? Do you have things that you love in life? I mean, we have to find something to connect with people in these dark places, and we're missing it.
Yeah, I think you're oh man, you hit it on the head because I just took a QPR training for my job. I had to.
What's
And
QPR? What's QPR?
oh shit.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Caught me off guard.
I'm sorry.
Question something response something. It's something like this guy that came up with.
Okay.
To me, y'all don't fire me if y'all watch this, but it's full of shit because it's just like, it is. I mean, cause it's the standard of suicide prevention. It's like you see someone giving away all their prized possessions and this and that. It's outdated. You know what I'm saying? Like when people doing murder suicides, it's a spur of the moment. It's not like
right. Come on.
I was counseling that got off the phone with me and killed herself. I did not see it coming. I mean, of course, she was telling me these things, and when she got off the phone, she was in a better space. We were making plans for a day later.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She between getting off the phone with me and going to bed, she said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it," and she did. And it's so sad, and it haunts me because I failed her. And people, oh, you didn't fail her, you did. No,
they don't understand it. They don't understand it. They ain't gonna get it, brother. They're not gonna get it.
It hurts. It hurts a lot because I was the last person to talk to her, and we specifically talked about what she has to live for. And my approach changed. I was like, everything. I talked to her like 4 or 5 times before. Everything was the same, and it was working. And I wasn't in the space I am now. Like I'm very equipped for it now. But then, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just let her talk. And that probably wasn't even a problem. I don't know if I could have done anything to stop it, but that won't change the way it won't make me feel. So every time I sit in front of someone or I get a 988 suicide call, it might as well be her. I see her every time.
Come on, man.
And I go,
come on, man.
And she is living through every person. And I make sure that I do her right by every time I take a call.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Gosh.
Come on, man.
Much, y'all. Wait. Question, persuade, and refer.
There you go. Question, persuade, and refer.
I like that.
It got, man, let me tell you, they got so many different levels, right? And like Kevin was saying, do you feel like harming yourself? Do you have a plan? These questions they want us to ask, like, you think niggas gonna tell you the truth if they, what I'm saying? Like, not off the rip. You ain't just gonna come say, hey, I noticed that you've been, coming a little sluggish, and and your mom tells me you have a higher. Are you gonna kill yourself? Do you have a plan? Do you, like somebody asked me that I don't know, that they want you to do, like, or even if I have a small rapport with, I don't know how well that's gonna look. When I approach people, I'm like, look, about 12 years ago, maybe whatever, however many years ago, I wanted to die 24/7 for 7 months straight. I planned it a few times within it. I know how I look when I see it. Talk to me. Bruh, man, let me tell you what's going on, dog.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. It's just like, to me, everything, just like mental health and, QPR is a prime example. There's their way, but they never take an effect our way and how culturally.
Hey, Kev, we taking that training. We're going to take the training. Watch, I'm going to talk offline. I'll wait till we get offline, y'all.
But I think that, what I got, but see, that's what I had to figure out. See, nobody can do what I do because I understand that I lived in that dark place for so long that I've mastered that dark place. But I have to learn their side of it, so that I can compete and change certain things.
Listen, we don't talk offline.
Like, and that's why I say I'm gonna be a psychiatrist. I'm gonna be like, what I'm saying. This is things that I already said. Okay, I'm gonna enter. I'm not gonna just live on this lived experience. I'm gonna put some PhD behind my name so that now, okay, now I know both sides. Now I can show you now.
Listen, so look,
come on.
I got my degree in child development and family services. So that's what my degree is in. But I did that because I've been a child care provider for 10 years. And so I decided to go back to school because I knew that I was going to end up opening a family home child care. And my son, I was pregnant with my son. I'm like, I want to be sure that I'm caring for him the correct way. But with having my child care, okay, and just running my child care, not having the education, not having the experience at all, and then going to school and then learning how to do it, but it also taught me how to work with kids and everything, right? Then I started taking some trauma informed courses. When somebody asked me to be a foster parent for their child. Once I took violence intervention and counseling. So that's what I specialized in infant, toddler care and development. So I'm seeing how the brain develop. I'm seeing why, the importance of early childhood education, the importance of early intervention, and then like taking this ACEs question and learning about this ACEs, Jermaine. I was sitting in a meeting, Jermaine, local child care planning council here in Solano County. It was like 5 of us in this meeting. And I'm hearing this lady present about ACEs. I'm in there bawling because I'm like, this is crazy. I have all 10 of those indicators. And I tell the lady, why are we having this conversation in here? This information needs to get out to the community. Like, people need to hear about this. And I told that lady, I said, look, I'm going to get this information out to people. I said, because this stuff, people have to know about this. I didn't know all this stuff could have a serious impact on me. And so now I'm able to reflect back on how much of an impact it's had on me. It's like, damn, I'm talking about I have all 10 of the indicators and more.
And what you said earlier was so true, because we walk around thinking the shit is normal. We didn't think it's a problem because everybody in our neighborhood went through it.
And it's like, no.
And it's just sad. We take it from generation to generation. It's just like, no. We gotta say it stops. It gotta stop. I can't have my kids growing up thinking that this world is the way it is because we've made it this way, because we refuse to take accountability for our own things and just do the necessary work. Like, we gotta do the work.
Listen,
like, I tell you, man, it's this one guy that I see often in my support group that I facilitate. I got so much admiration for him. He's autistic. He's Chinese, so he didn't go to college. He ain't got 12 degrees. He like the black sheep of his family. Man, he's a little, what this society may call weird, but I got a lot of love for him. But he said some real shit. He said, yeah, my family, they're rich and everybody got degrees, and if you graduated from Harvard with 1 degree, then you're like the low part of our family. He said, but what do I want to do? Go to school and get another degree, or break the stigma and stop the generational curse of poor mental health in my family? That's what I go with. He said, I'm going to be the first in my family to break the generational curse and normalize this. I said, bro, if everybody had that attitude, no matter what cultural background you are, I don't even think I can imagine the world that damn good.
Yeah. Come on, man.
And one thing I like, it's not a lot of upsides of living in Florida, but right now Florida is really looking at replacing a lot of state therapists for peers with people that have lived experience and paying them that kind. And when I heard that, I said, yeah, well, I believe it when I see it. Then I saw my new job offer and what they offered me money. I said, okay, I believe it.
So
definitely believe it. So, and I hope, how it is with politics. All it takes is one state to do it, a huge state like a Florida or California, and everyone falls in line. And I hope that goes around the country, because if you ain't got experience, ain't nothing you can tell me. And not just in mental health, anything.
Life, man. That's life.
Like what does a football? I remember, like I said, I live in Jacksonville. Tom Coughlin was the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When he first got here, when we first got the Jaguars here, the players had a hard time. Tom Coughlin had a hard time because the players you ain't never played NFL. You don't know what we go through. and he giving them curfews and this kind of trying to be this hard coach. And they like, you know, they openly say, you know, you ain't played football before. So, and I mean, I go for that. I go for that in anything, especially when you're talking about your mental health. It's hard, man. And then I take it a step further. It's like, I'm not at the point now, especially 2023, I'm going to stop telling people to go get a therapist, go get mental health, go get this, go get that, go get someone that understands and look like you. Because if you have someone that has a privileged background, they cannot be your correct counselor. They can't counsel you the right way. They know the makers of your brain, but they don't know the makers of your culture, what you went through. If they can't understand 12 of y'all in a 3-room shack, then how the hell they can relate to what you got going on?
Right.
So, you know, if you didn't come outside and hear gunshots and see yellow tape, and, you know, I never forget when we was young in Pensacola, before we played football, we had to clear out the heroin needs from the field. So, you know, if you ain't did no shit like that, man, it's kind of hard to tell me anything as a counselor. So, you know, like, definitely. It's more than, it's almost like telling people, you know, go vote. No, don't tell them to go vote. Tell them to go what to go vote for. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with, don't just go get a therapist. Go get someone that looks like you, connect with you, and can counsel you the right way.
Yep.
So you preaching, because we about to take some offerings. So that's what. This was good. This was great, y'all.
It was.
Thank Kev, man. I love you. I love you, Kev. You was there. I hit him up like, man, I gotta get you on. You gotta meet this dude. Like, I gotta collaborate.
I'm so glad you brought me, man. Because, like I say it again, dog. I never forget when I saw your story on Facebook. Let me ask you something. How did you feel when you saw your story getting out there to the world?
It was different. I mean, because I had already, like, it took me 8 years to accept that photo. So the photo was out there for years, but the story didn't get big until I put my name to the photo, and that didn't happen to 2013. And from day one, I made an agreement with God, and you know, I've watched Him do this. It's not. I tell people I can't explain. It's not about me. Like, it's not. So it's like, it's my story, but it's God's plan. Like he took this and made it, like, I'm everywhere I've been, all these places, and, you know, shows and Darby shows, all these people make all these different things that I've done. This is God's plan. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I just sit back and just, you know, I don't know. I just get to be the face of it. I mean, you know, get to be the body and walk around in the you know, and people say, "Oh my God," and I'd be like, "No, that's God. You're right. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with me." So, I mean, I'm beyond humble with it. I mean, that He chose me to even, you know, represent something as big as that. That photo has been, you know, it's everywhere. I mean, people have reached out from almost every country in this world. I mean, it's pretty much, and to be known as the bridge guy. I mean, knowing that that's God. You know, God is. People see that photo and they think about, oh my God. They don't see me. They first thing they see was say, oh my God. That's it. So it's a representation of Him and what He can do in your most darkest time. So I don't know, man. It ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I don't take no glory from it, man.
And, you know, that's what I don't know if it's the world, but it's definitely the country. They said that's the #1 place where people go to take their life.
It is. It's in the world. You know, it's a demonic spirit that hangs over it, and I know it because when I went March 11, 2005, I didn't even know the bridge even existed. I didn't even know it was iconic for suicide attempts. That's how I know it's something there. Because somebody people come from around the world and come to this bridge and jump off of it. Like, you skip 20 bridges before you got to like, you know, it's like people come from the other side of the world. I mean, it's definitely something there. I can definitely say that and speak from existence and all that, because I know my own particular story. I don't have to go about what people say and statistics, and I'm talking about for myself. I didn't know the thing existed. the day that I went to it. So I know it's got to be something there, and it's something very demonic there.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Well, y'all know we could go on and on.
We're gonna put it together though. I got some stuff coming up, man. We're gonna get together, man. We gotta put it together, man. We need something in a bigger platform.
Yeah. Yeah. We got it. We got it.
Yeah, let's put our connections together, because I know I'm connected to a lot of people, and I know you connected to a lot of people, and I think that, Jamila, you connect to a lot. Like, we just gotta, we gotta do it. Like, I know a lot of people. You know a lot of people. It's like there's no reason why we can't. We just need to do it. You be doing it. You be doing it, sis. No, I will say this. No, like, you know what? As a man, I gotta get this money. I'm door dashing now. You see what I'm talking about? I'm supposed to be, to going on live, talking about all these different things. Is I'm trying to get a bag, trying to get this money. And it's just like, see, you stay focused. You be like, nah, aces. Everything in your life is represent aces. And I gotta if I can get that drive, if I could put that drive like into this and this that's why I say next year I'm 365. It's gonna be the first year I put 365 days into my foundation.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, and I gotta tell you this, dog. Well, if you don't write that script right now for your story, because I just adapted my book. My book is just it's a fictional story on the Book of Revelations. It got substance because it got to do with the Creator and what's to come.
Yeah,
but I ain't John the Papsmos. I ain't write Revelation, so But NBC, all these people I'm talking to about this movie, and then all the other networks that I'm talking to about this show, and I know how quick things can happen. Like, you already got an iconic story. It gotta follow. You don't even have the uphill battle that I had to get to where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
If you don't write this doggone script right now, I could
listen.
I'm telling you, PureFlix looking for movies right now, and that could be an amazing PureFlix movie. Man, you can man.
Let me help you write it.
Come on, man. Let's put it together. Let's put it together.
I have a question.
If I was listening with nothing else, I definitely want to put this on your heart, though.
Yeah.
You should not be door dashing for nothing, dog.
Yeah. Come on, man. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
You know what I'm saying? Through just a post, and whoever posted it, I don't know, but it was your story, your face that inspired people. People know that story.
Yeah.
I mean, when I wrote my first script, I just started writing scripts at the top of the year. I took a YouTube University video. I watched it for 40 minutes and I was off and running. I think my assistant is on here. Jennifer, if you on here, can you write what's the free programming we use to write script? It's a free programming. Just get on there and write it. And I'm telling you, like, your story, you're halfway there. You done been on every time. You just named it. Bro, there's no reason that because they will pay you for your script and your intellectual property because that is your story. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be given $700,000 for that story. Just for that story up front and then the back end of.
Come on, kid. We ain't playing, boy.
You see me listening. I'm listening. Put me up on game,
You got to do it, man.
We about to get off. Y'all can stay on. Like, we gonna get off live though, because this is important. I know you tired. You over there. What time is it over there? I'm sorry.
No, what time is it? Oh yes,
midnight. Was it?
Yeah. It's actually Thursday over here. So
everybody, Miss Christopher, she's like, can we have them back on as guests? So I'm gonna see what they want to do, but I know Bounceback Wednesday is no longer gonna be weekly. It's not, y'all. I'm making some huge moves in 2023, and I am. I'm trying to learn the self-care stuff. Okay, so every second and fourth Wednesday, we're gonna be on. So maybe they'll come on the first Wednesday, second Wednesday of the year. So we're gonna see. But we're gonna log off, y'all. Y'all stay on though, real fast. Y'all stay on. So thank you to everybody.
Thank y'all for watching. I sure appreciate it. I read every single comment, and I can't thank y'all enough.
Yeah. So be sure to share it. Go follow Jermaine J. Williams. Go follow Kevin Berthia. Kevin gonna have his movie out next.
Right. I'm gonna make sure of it. I'm telling you.
I'll be on the lookout for 2023. Some amazing things about to be happening. So, y'all have a good night. Stay on, y'all.